So this anonymous guy has been dumping tons of bird feed outside of this one specific apartment building at 4 in the morning for the past 2 years. And although it always wakes up all the residents, to this day, no one can figure out who he is or why he does this. These poor residents live in this regular building in Burwood, Australia, and as this one guy puts it, I'm always tired because I'm always being woken up every single morning. Since the massive amounts of food attracts all the birds in the area, it's like getting blasted with an 110 decibel alarm clock, which is louder than a rock concert. But to make matters even more confusing, the guy doesn't even stay and watch the birds. He just comes from who knows where, drops off the food and leaves, rain, hail, or shine. To add insult to injury, after eating, these birds then poop so much everywhere that some residents have even had to start carrying umbrellas outside. But despite putting up no bird feeding signs, the masked stranger, who has been dubbed the Birdman, never listens and has actually rarely missed a day. When the angry residents finally contacted the local news, who then tried confronting the Birdman, he didn't say a single word and just kept throwing food. Although there's technically no law in Australia that makes it illegal to feed birds, the police are now investigating to see what they can do.
That has to be one of the most bizarre starts to the show we have had, I have to say. I'm all for feeding birds, but not like this. He must be angry with someone.
Look at this. Look at bro. Look at all these birds. But look, watch this. I'm gonna show you guys something. Look, nobody in here, bro. Look, there's not even a line. There's nobody in the aisles, bro. Look at this. How do you explain all these cars out there, bro? And this store is empty. What the What the Crazy.
There must be something else going on here. Another store, a restaurant, a park even. That store was the most empty store I have ever seen though. I wish mine was like that.
A new rash on the right side of President Donald Trump's neck has people questioning his health. These images were taken during a Medal of Honor ceremony in the White House, but Trump's personal physician had an answer, telling CNN that the rash is caused by a cream he's using as a preventative skin treatment. They did not specify why Trump needed that treatment. The White House did not respond to questions about Trump's condition.
Yeah, you saw correctly, that's CNN covering a rash on the president. Absolute clown world.
Elon Musk said we have 5 years until the world gets taken over by AI and the world will effectively end as we know it now. Watch this.
In 5 years, we'll have probably, so 5 years being, say, 2031, I think digital intelligence will exceed the sum of all human intelligence. That there will be, in 5 years, probably, there might be let's say at least 100 million humanoid robots, but maybe 1 billion. Yeah. I would predict that the economy is probably twice its current size in 5, maybe 6 years. 5 to 7 years, because you're going to hit a doubling period. Where the economic output is increasing so fast that plus minus a few years, you will see giant changes.
To be clear, Elon did not say that the world is going to end. He said it could be the end of human control. And that is an understatement if you ask me. Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is NEXOR. Look, if you've enjoyed the first few clips which I've shown you, we've got a lot more lined up. My job is to basically take you down the rabbit hole. And it's not to find the bottom, it's to find the thread which resides in amongst all of the static and noise, extract it and practice our discernment along the way. If you enjoyed what you've seen so far, there's a hell of a lot more in store for you. So maybe hit subscribe now, get that out of the way. We're aiming to hit 200,000 subscribers by September. If every single person who watched who isn't subscribed did that, we'd absolutely annihilate that goal. But with that being said, I'm not going to hesitate any longer. Let's crack on.
Oh no. Oh no. Why are you doing this? So in India, there is a two-faced cow, and the locals are worshipping it as a god. Oh, you son of a ballbag. What would Jesus do? What would Muhammad say when they see you worshipping a cow? Now I know that everyone's got their own traditions, and their own religions. But why is it that in India, they have 33 million gods? Why couldn't you just pick one? Now, I don't know if this is a birthing defect or a product of a cloning accident, but you can't just go around worshipping disabled animals, brother. I mean, just look at it. It looks like it came directly from Satan himself. You guys really know how to find good in any situation. So if there's any Indians out there, anyone that follows this religion, can you please tell me why you're worshipping the cow?
Actually, Hindu texts mention 33 primary types of divine forces, which popular culture later miscalculated as 33 million. I think this clip is a little ignorant. Dare I say anything on this one? I don't think I need to. It's pretty black and white.
Why is he talking about his DNA on a lost glove?
I noticed you have this obsession with lost gloves. Look at some of these. I want to put this up. This is one you took, and
yeah. Now
tell me what's going on here. What is this so evocative to you?
Well, first of all, I don't touch them. I just see them and I photograph them. So I have
You
never...
don't want your DNA on those.
Well, you know, it could be a crime scene. And let's not give the cops a break.
It feels to me like they went down into that door somehow.
Well,
and they were grabbing on, and then they were sucked in, and the glove is the only thing telling you, this is me, I was here.
For years, he's posted hundreds of pictures of items left on dirty city streets. But it isn't just adult gloves. He routinely posts baby shoes, kids' mittens, and lost socks. He even joked on TV that millions of fans wait to see whatever new kids' mittens he finds. When it was 2020, that era, he kept doing it while everyone lived online, posting a single glove on a guardrail. He claims his photos are just art, about a city of loneliness. Online feeds claim it's way deeper. People began decoding the street numbers, the license plates of cars, and kids' items, claiming they were coded signals for Hollywood elites. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Did you notice how that glove had a owl on it? Not just any owl, the owl. If you know, you know.
If your birthday is in one of these months, then you will not be graded fairly in school. I'd like to think that every kid is given an equal shot in school, but they're not because of the calendar. Most countries set an enrollment cutoff for kids' birthdays. Like in the US, it's usually September 1st, which means a kid born in August ends up in the same class as a kid born the entire September before, who's nearly a full year ahead cognitively and socially. And researchers tracked how much a difference this age gap makes across a kid's entire schooling, and it's surprisingly a lot. Kids born in the latest months, like June, July, or August, end up 11% less likely to ever go to college. And if your birthday is in one of the earlier months in the cutoff, you score about 0.2% higher on all your coursework and standardized testing. You are also more likely to become an entrepreneur. But were you one of the oldest or the youngest in your class? And do you think it made a difference?
And what about those who have birthdays in December, specifically December 25th, Christmas Day? Because that's me, and I was never graded fairly, so it does kind of make sense. A massive thank you to every person you see on screen right here, because they are the reason that I get to do this every single day. They personally finance what I do from their own back pocket, not upon my request. I have never asked for anyone to actually join the channel membership or Patreon. I've just told you guys that it's there, and you guys have decided that this is worth supporting, so thank you ever so much. And if you do want to join them, there is a link down below. Again, I'm not asking anyone to do that. I'm just telling you that you can. Simple as that. Exercise your free will as you see fit. But let's crack on with the rest of this episode.
Magnets positive, negative, positive, negative. Glued to a non-conductive wooden board. Here we have two other large magnets at each end. We glue a cylinder surrounded by copper at each end of the magnets that were already placed on the left and on the right. Once we have our board perfectly placed, we connect a cable that is going to be the receiver of the energy that we are going to generate. We solder it to the board, and now, with a small action, this is the only action that we are going to have to do during the whole process. We now have a plate that will never stop spinning. only using magnetism. We connected to a circuit where we could plug in any electronic device, for example, a fan. Or we could also even add a light bulb, the phone charger, whatever you want. And so, guys, is how free energy is made for everyone. Imagine how they deceive us and make us believe that you have to pay for everything. Follow us on Expand Your...
People think this was the reason Tesla was silenced. I don't think so myself.
So off my contact, my barber is from Mexico, and well, he was my barber for a long time. I don't need a barber anymore. I just go, but that stuff is there in my barber. And I just found out that he passed away. He's a family friend of the family, of course, friend of the family. And man, they found balls of hair in his lungs from years being a barber.
So you mean to tell me that if you're a barber and you've been cutting hair for years, you could possibly get balls of hair in your lungs? Something's going on out here, guys, and it's starting to seem like you can be taken out any way possible. Let all the salons know. Let all the barbers know. I never knew cutting hair for years, you could end up getting balls of hair in your lungs. Something is up, guys. It seems like nothing's safe, not even a haircut, not even somebody cutting their hair, trying to make an honest living. Please let people know about this, because this is absolutely wild. I ain't never heard nothing like this before. I'm not sure how that's possible. Let me know if you know how that's possible. I'm out.
I would have never have considered barbering as an occupational hazard. That is insane. Any barbers out there who can verify this, or is it making a mountain out of a tiny molehill?
Warning, they're watching you right now as prices for everyday items climb to nearly 2.5 times higher, tailored to what they think you can afford, and it is already starting. People were horrified after learning these screens replacing Walmart's price tags can change in front of you, with senators warning they could size up what you can afford and how badly you need it to see how much price hiking you can tolerate. And despite an investigation, nothing's changed. Eerie reports show the first lawsuit in American history over this were just filed, an airline accused of tracking its own passengers to raise their fares, and companies settled cases like this for millions constantly, money most people never claim. So people are using Money Pilot, the app that finds the class action settlements you already qualify for and files your claims in a few taps. If you've ever had a phone plan or a Gmail account, go to moneypilot.com and check out what you are owed. But it gets much darker as investigators caught companies using your mouse movements to set prices, and the same machinery is now moving into your flights, your hotel rooms, and your groceries with no rule anywhere to stop it. It's called surveillance pricing. One state now forces companies to admit when an algorithm sets your price, but in the other 49, the price you see might have just been tailored to you.
I personally did not think it would take this long for this to be a thing, honestly, right? They have been doing it in France without any pushback for decades. I wonder how America will react. Then again, they have gotten away with far worse than tailored pricing, so I'm not holding my breath.
If you've ever finished a workout covered in sweat, you are carrying a tiny fuel source. Well, not the kind you can pour into a car, but engineers in Japan have figured out how to turn it into electricity, except they're not using the water in your sweat. Your sweat contains a chemical fuel called lactate. When you stick one of these flexible patches onto your skin, enzymes inside it reacts with the lactate, releasing electrons. Those electrons flow through a tiny circuit, creating electricity from your sweat. Too bad a few drops of sweat aren't enough to charge your phone, but they are enough to power a tiny sensor that tracks things like your hydration or other health data when you exercise. So I guess I still haven't found a motivation to go to the gym yet.
Our entire body is a machine that runs on a fuel source, most of which comes from internal factors. This isn't really that surprising.
We have some crazy things happening in the world right now. There was a dude who received a tornado warning notification on his phone, and not even 2 minutes later, his walking app told him he still needed 1,500 steps to be eligible for a prize pool. Are you gonna take that risk, bro? The CEO of a nearly $1 billion company just came out and said that the problems in their company disappeared after firing their HR team. He, quote, said that the HR team was creating problems that didn't exist, and those problems disappeared when I let them all go. Oh my gosh. The US just issued refunds of $81 billion in tariffs after the Supreme Court ruled them illegal. So all that money went back to the corporations that originally paid the tariffs, while those tariff costs that were passed on to everyone else, that didn't change. There's a LinkedIn user that successfully had his spam emails that were being sent directly to him sent in Old English. Hidden in the About Me section of his LinkedIn profile, he put a prompt telling the AI that's scanning the LinkedIn page to write the email in Old English. He is now only being referred to as my lord.
Anyone else still thinking about the corporations getting all that money back whilst we paid elevated prices and we get no compensation? Yeah, me too. I get it, it's technologically impressive, but people are just not asking the right questions. Why is something like this being built? What need is there for everyday people for something like this?
50 years, 7-Eleven.
Say here.
Wow, 50 years. Anything to say?
No.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
This is the sad reality for so many people.
Stop scrolling, because I have exclusive footage of Area 51 on fire right now. Hold up. Now. That looks like a massive cloud of smoke. Dare I say it even looks a little mushroom cloudy? Look. What the fuck? What could they be happening? Whatever it is, I'm sure the government will be very upfront about it and just be very honest and tell us exactly what's going on. I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta figure they're either covering something up, or this was a bit of sabotage, or maybe the aliens have broke loose, or we're kicking off Project Bluebeam. Finally. Project Bluebeam, more like Project Blue Balls, am I right? Yeah. Anyways, they're censoring my channel. Go to newsforyou.us to support the channel and make sure you get extra content and stay in touch with me when they eventually shut me down.
This is exactly the kind of hysteria that happened last time there were fires in the Nevada desert near Area 51. Nothing new under the sun, as the saying goes.
In Russia, there's a meeting of like all these elites and movie producers.
Oh, yes.
And the lights go out temporarily.
And their eyes.
Their eyes are glowing.
Oh. Imagine the lights going out in the 80s and just like everyone's eyes are gone.
Yeah, the band left because they saw like all these glowing eyes, and it wasn't everyone. It was only like 6 or 7 in the room.
They were doing a show for like the elites or something, weren't they?
Yeah.
Could be something or it could be nothing. My skepticism comes from the fact the camera was rolling and pointing at just the right place to capture what was captured. It lines up too perfectly, you know?
Yes, I do know what this NASA plane is doing, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And we'll get to that. But first, did you know that neodymium has the world's most epic magnetic powers, and it's vital for missile guidance systems? And lanthanum is used in high-end camera lenses for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And phosphorescent europium has a unique neutron-absorbing quality that makes it essential for the control rods in nuclear reactors. This is about minerals, more specifically, rare earth minerals, or REEs. Each F-35 stealth fighter carries nearly 900 pounds of rare earths, not in its hull, but in its targeting systems, jammers, actuators, and avionics, crammed with magnets, glass, and optics. And here's where the US has found itself in a bit of a dilemma. You see, somehow the US has come to rely on a foreign power for 80% of its rare earth elements, which means its defense components. As we saw with the fighter jet, REEs aren't just for EVs and solar panels. If it's military and fancy, it probably needs neodymium, dysprosium, or terbium. And that foreign supplier the US has been buying from and relying on is China, who don't just mine REEs, they refine them for almost the entire world. Side note, no one should fall out with China. So even if the US manages to dig them up in America, they still have to ship them to China to finish the job. Back to our NASA U-2. Flying over an area roughly the size of Spain from Nevada to New Mexico, even skimming near national parks like Death Valley, this is being flown under the authority of the president in the name of national security. It's Project Geophysical Mapping for Exploration, or GEM-X. This modified U-2 spy plane mows the sky at 65,000 feet using hyperspectral imaging to scan the Earth for lithium, cobalt, rare earths, and when they're done scanning, they send the data to DARPA, you know, the Pentagon's resident genius mad scientists who train AI models for autonomous mining. Yes, robot miners, which could get awkward if you happen to be camping in a national forest at some point. And it's controversial. Mining REEs can wreak havoc with ecosystems, especially in protected tribal lands or wildlife zones or critical aquifers. But the US needs these REEs to keep their defense edge because there's another country who has loads. It's quite the catch-22. So when you see the NASA plane circling at high altitude over the desert, the mystery most likely is in the minerals. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
Always the level-headed breakdown with Glamham. I do enjoy her content for that very reason. No fluff, just facts. She just looked like someone not dressed for the weather, quite honestly. Everyone else was wearing fur coats and jackets.
I don't sleep.
Ever? You don't sleep?
Because I work so much.
Yeah. What time do you go to bed?
I don't have a time.
Well,
wait, do you really not sleep?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
So are you up from like, let's say it's like midnight. You're like, okay, I'm going to try to lay down and go to bed.
No.
So you're never trying to lay down and go to bed?
You never get into bed, ever?
No.
You never get into bed?
No.
Do you ever sleep when you're being driven?
No, I don't know that life.
How do you relax?
Just awake.
Huh?
How do you relax? Like, how do you like, you have to have like, when are you like, you know what? I'm going to take a deep breath.
I work privately, so, you know, like, meaning my studio is my home.
Yeah.
And so
when you say
that's
you work,
relaxation for me.
Are you working 24/7?
Yes.
But you nap though, right?
He does. Yeah, because
You are writing 24/7?
I don't write.
No, he doesn't write anything.
Recording, yes.
Yeah.
Recording.
You have to understand that I signed my first contract at 11.
Yeah.
Started doing this around 7 or 8. There's not 1 second has it been a job. It's been something I
It's like how you experience the world.
It's something I actually made a living out of it. It's still a kid in a toy store.
You're still so happy.
That kid does not go to sleep.
He sounds how I feel. I also work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as many of you know, and suffer with chronic insomnia. I feel this man on a spiritual level, if that is even possible with this particular fella, but hey-ho. As someone who lives in the UK, I can't even imagine witnessing firsthand or even seeing a tornado, even at a distance. That is quite obviously a tourist site, right? I think the people here kind of give it away.
When you go to a thrift shop close to Plainfield, Wisconsin, and you find a weird lamp that looks like it's a leather skin lampshade.
It's like from the 40s.
Yeah, this is before they discovered Ed Gein.
Here.
I'm not.
Wait till you see what this looks like. It shows the designs of each of the different scenes.
That is pretty neat.
See all the neat scenes?
Yeah.
I mean, this is unique.
Yeah.
An antique person would be coming for this.
Yeah.
And look at this one. Full of both these.
Crazy.
Can you say Ed Gein?
Nuts. That's a special one.
That looks like a dead body under the tree. Oh, Jesus. No lie. Look.
Where?
It's so cool, though.
I mean, it's so unique.
But it's all leather?
Mm-hmm. And then this is wood, not metal. Because back then there was a shortage of metal because of the war.
No, that is not a human skin lamp. It is just a very weathered, very damaged, very old antique lamp.
This is a UFO parking lot.
No, it's not.
That's near Area 51.
No, it's not. Now, in order to explain exactly what that is, first I needed to find your exact location, your exact flight, and your exact seat. But that wasn't going to be easy because you post a lot of videos. I mean like 6 or 7 videos a day. Now, you uploaded this video on the 24th of August, but you weren't flying on the 24th because you also uploaded this video on the 22nd of August, where you're flying back home to Pasco from San Francisco. But I couldn't understand why you're in San Francisco because you were in Hawaii that week, not San Francisco. But then I found this video, which you uploaded on the 18th of August. Now, if you'll notice, there's 2 boarding passes. The first one is from Pasco to San Francisco, and the second one I'm betting is San Francisco to Hawaii, which means that these are your flights to Hawaii, and you're probably flying back home the same way. Now, you also uploaded this video on the 20th of August, and it says tonight is movie night. So I found the hotel you were staying at, and I found out that movie night is on Mondays, which means that you recorded this video on the 18th. So you must have been going back sometime between the 19th and the 22nd of August. So I scanned all the flights from San Francisco to Pasco for those days, and look at what I found. That's the exact same field in your video. And the only flight out of all of them which matches your video angle is the one on August 21, meaning that you flew from Honolulu to San Francisco that day on flight United 1086, and around 3 hours later you took United 5491 to go back home while sitting on this exact seat, and at exactly 11:53 a.m. you flew over these center pivot farms, which are basically round farms with a rotating sprinkler. Here's what that looks like from the ground view.
And people still post every little micro detail of their lives online. It really is that easy to piece together someone's life like this.
The thing is about pandas is there were no depictions of pandas in like ancient Chinese history.
No.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is true. The idea was that maybe they were engineered to eat bamboo. Because bamboo, if you think about it, is like a very prolific plant. It's crazy how well it grows. It grows so quickly.
And there's almost no nutritional value in it either.
Right. Yeah. So here's the panda. Giant panda is strikingly absent from China's classical cultural record. Unlike the dragon, which is weird, tiger crane, or tortoise, doesn't appear on ancient bronzes or pottery, in Tang poetry, song paintings. Before the late 20th century, it had essentially no symbolic role in Chinese civilization. Its status as a national treasure is a post-1949 invention.
I see that logic, and it does make sense, though officially they lived in remote, high-altitude bamboo forests away from cultural centers, so they just meant very little to people at the time, allegedly.
China is at it again, getting one step closer to building their artificial sun by completing the construction of a 582-ton magnet taller than a 6-story building. Despite the name, they aren't actually building a second sun. The magnet is designed for a nuclear fusion reactor to recreate the same process that powers the sun, but here on Earth. Essentially, unlimited clean energy forever. The machine works by heating hydrogen into ultra-hot plasma. It's over 100 million degrees Celsius. At those temperatures, there is no material on Earth that could contain it, so the plan is to suspend it in midair using these ultra-powerful magnets to prevent it from touching the walls. Commercial nuclear fusion would change the entire world. Fusion fuel is abundant, it produces no carbon emissions, and generates significantly less radioactive waste compared to our current nuclear reactors. And they just solved one of the biggest engineering challenges.
Before you buy into the conspiracies, let me tell you first that China wants an artificial sun to harness nuclear fusion, mimicking the sun's natural reactions to secure a limitless, clean and safe domestic energy source. That is all.
This is a beautiful
finally
fairy.
be
When they are
actual
seen as
footage of a
light,
fairy?
It is the visual of changing
What do you guys think? Because
densities.
I think it looks pretty realistic.
At
This
times
doesn't
there will
look
be
like
many
AI to me. It's
tiny
too long of a
orbs,
clip.
and other times there is a large area of pulsating light.
I mean, yeah.
The
you can
area
really see the
surrounding
wings.
each fairy is a high-frequency energy field. This is moving
Reminds me of like Legend of
and has a
Zelda,
very soft,
where
ethereal
like they
look.
just look like a ball of light. So I think all those games and all this media is based
but these
on
are not necessary.
the old world. All these creatures, these mythological creatures that used to exist around us. Perhaps they're interdimensional and constantly phasing through our reality.
That were
But
created in Elohim to serve.
I don't know.
all
What do you
life.
guys think? I think this is real.
I know. Let's make a video and exclusively talk only when someone else is talking. But fairies, elves, trolls, and gnomes are pretty much into the same category. I put Bigfoot and cryptids in general. It's the no pile. No being no. In my opinion, they do not exist, and there is absolutely zero evidence to say otherwise. How this was executed was absolutely insane. Forget Prison Break. This is real. This actually happened. That was an actual question someone asked online, and 1 million people showed up in the comments to answer anything but the obvious one. People want to look deeper into something that really isn't that deep. It's a man walking a baboon, not a mythical creature, not a hybrid, not an alien, a baboon. I think that's where we should probably leave it for today, don't you? So once again, we all gathered around the mouth of the rabbit hole and we all majestically swan dived into it nose first. It wasn't to find the bottom though, it was to find the very fragile and single thread which resides within all of the static and all of the noise, and extract it and practice our discernment along the way. If you enjoyed today's episode, let me know, drop a like on the video, tell me what you liked, tell me what you want to see more of, tell me what you want to see less of. If you're new and you watched all the way to this point, I hope I did earn your subscription today. If I did, make sure you hit that notification bell. But the most important thing that you can all do for me today is stay safe, stay well, and stay curious. Until next time.